getting in touch with my emotions does not make me weak. You getting in touch with your emotions does not make you weak.
Only women and children are loved unconditionally. A man's value is tied to how much money he makes.
We need to begin to be intentional with who we choose as partners, who we choose as girlfriends, who we choose as wives.
Don't expect people to love you if you don't love yourself. It's the discipline and the consistency. Are you willing to show up every day? Because without that discipline, you can't achieve that muscular look that you want.
Yes, say the expectation that they have of men is to meet a certain standard, is to do things in a particular way. But it is also important that men also communicate their own pain.
One thing I've come to realize with all these issues that we have, when we learn from it, they become our superpower. Hey guys, Richard Getau here. Let's say we start. I'm a professional bodybuilder, fitness influencer. I'm a online coach, and also I'm a businessman. I have my Rich G clothing line. And I'm trying to inspire people through my bodybuilding career and my bodybuilding journey, trying to achieve being Mr. Olympia. And I know I will. So I'm trying to share this journey, even at some point, like, I'm just doing it to show people like nothing is impossible. Your life is as good as your mindset. I'm trying to show people like, as long as you've put it in your mind and you believe in it, 100% you'll achieve it. And I'm on that road. Yes, I know comes with a bit of fall down, but 100% sure I know I'll reach that goal that I'm reaching. And also for you guys, like, you have to understand, like, yes, at some point things might be hard, but as long as you have a great mindset, you can achieve anything. And we have to always choose the hard things.
Greetings to you all, and thank you for tuning in. My name is Anthony Mene Tabu, and I am a counseling psychologist. I'm very passionate about men's mental health, especially in this month. And I want to just maybe begin by saying to all those hearing my voice, especially for men, that we are here together. We're not going anywhere. And we are here to support you. We are here to support each other, and that you matter. And that is basically, for me, the most important message I would really like to pass out to men listening to us in this month. Your struggles are valid. Your emotions are valid. You have a right to feel the way you feel. And it's a privilege. It's a journey. But it's a privilege even joining with you. So thank you for tuning in, and we are here together.
Thank you. Welcome, gentlemen.
Santi.
More men trust their barbers more than they do a therapist.
Not more men trust their barbers?
More than they do a therapist.
Let's start with the fact that before I met my girlfriend, I thought if going to a therapist is like you have an issue, like you have a big issue. But after I met my girlfriend, I realized like you don't have to have an issue. It's all about understanding yourself. That's the thing. Like after realizing that, but it took, let's say it took like a few months after we are dating, having issues, and then you're realizing, what's happening here? You're trying to understand yourself, but you don't understand what's happening. So at that time, I was like, let's start seeing someone. But at the same time, when I start seeing that person, it was good because of the relationship and everything. But also I talked to one of my friends. He was like, "Ebo, try this guy. He's a life coach." So I was like, yeah, let me try. And then that's when my mind got rewired, and I realized it's not about the fact that you have to have an issue for you to see a therapist.
Thank you for sharing that. For me, that statement is one that I want to agree with saying it is what most people experience now, but it's something I also want to challenge, and I want to agree with it because most men don't see therapy as something that can help them. They don't see therapy as a place that enables them to be men. So they don't trust therapy because it makes them vulnerable. It invites them to themselves. It invites them to get in touch with those parts of themselves that they are either not aware of or they're not comfortable with. So, or even they're not ready to also begin to engage with. And for the barbers, is someone they have experienced before.
Yeah, true.
So they have given them some kind of haircut before, and they have seen the work that that barber may have done before, and they have also built a rapport, a trusting relationship. So
So it's true.
so most men, I think, actually trust their barbers more than their therapists. But remember, it's also because most of them have not even tried a therapist.
100%.
But when they do try their therapists, maybe that narrative can change. They can begin to trust both. Or they trust their therapist more for their mental health, and trust their barbers more
For the beach.
for their haircuts.
Yeah, true.
Right.
But it's true the way you said, like, it happens, the fact that men, because they don't know, at some point they end up trusting their barbers. They go to their barbers compared to their therapist. Yeah.
Real men don't cry.
And obviously, our fathers were saying like that, but that's not the case. At some point, as supposed to understand yourself, you have to allow. Crying, it's all about understanding your emotions, allowing your emotions to come through. But at some point, when you close your emotions, it ends up even you not understanding yourself, not understanding how you're feeling. So for me, what I will say, like, a man is not defined by crying. You have to be close to your emotions. That's one thing. And being close to your emotion doesn't mean that you're weak. Even you're much stronger than you think. So for me, I will say, like, no. We have to accept our emotions. We can't throw them away. It's like, Sigudaki, man. Eventually, it will end up catching up with you. Things are happening. You don't understand why they're happening. You get even to a point where you get depressed, but you're not understanding what's happening because you've closed off your emotions. And at some point, those emotions comes with crying. Even, let's say, even joy. You can express that point of crying. Even for me, like, at some point, thinking about my life and how everything has gone through and what I've managed to achieve through. Like, you find even tears of joy coming through. And that doesn't mean I'm not a man. You understand?
Yes. I dare to understand. I can really imagine. And I stay there with you and also agree with you. Yeah, getting in touch with my emotions does not make me weak. You getting in touch with your emotions does not make you weak. So that statement, real men don't cry. I think it's a fallacy. It's not just because men do have feelings and men can cry and men should cry and there's nothing wrong with crying, but it is almost as if we have begun to classify some men as real and some men as not real.
Yeah.
So if you cry, then you are not real. Oh, seriously? No, I don't think it is actually true. Real men face their emotions. Real men get in touch with how they feel. Real men cry. Real men feel sad. Real men express anger. Real men feel sorrowful. In fact, the whole gamut of human emotions said human emotions, and men are also human. So also human. So it is a statement that I think we need to we look at that narrative even as men, but also as society. This thing of society telling us, men don't cry when we look at ourselves. We are men and we can cry, and it's okay to cry. There's nothing wrong with crying. It's also a way of dealing with sorrowful and sad emotions, and it's a beauty when men get in touch with their emotions, because even at the long run, it is a healing process. It's a healing journey. It's not about being. You can be healed when you are like when you are weak or when you are sick. You can be healed. You are healed when you are strong. You are healed when you're in touch with your emotions. You are healed when the things that you don't like, you're able to speak about them and be yourself. I mean, that is where healing is. So, men don't cry. It's an X.
Only women and children are loved unconditionally. A man's value is tied to how much money he makes.
Only men and women are loved.
Only women and children. Okay.
Only women and children are loved unconditionally. And men are attached to how much money they have. If I agreed or disagree about that, most likely it's true. I agree. Yeah, but also at the same time, I guess also it depends on the effort you as a man, you put in yourself. Like, what's your purpose? I feel like, right now in our society, like, I feel even what's happening in our society, how much money defines how much love you are given by the society. At some point in the society, it's true, but it shouldn't be like that at the same time. Because for me, I feel it shouldn't be the money that defines you, but your values as a man. Do you take responsibility? I guess those are the things that matters. And are you doing your best as a man? You're not lazing around. So at some point, in terms of the society, the way the society say it's true, but for me, what I'll say, like, a man is what he stands by. A man is his values. He should be loved because of what he stands by and also the values that he has himself as a man. Also those values comes in by working hard, obviously, by pursuing your purpose. And also when you do all those things, like, love will come, obviously. Even you yourself, you love yourself. Because at some point, don't expect people to love you if you don't love yourself. That's one thing. So I will say, like, in the society, it's true. A man is loved because of their money, but I don't think that should be the case. Because a lot of people have money, but they don't have values. A lot, even when you look at our government. They have money, but their values are. But you find someone is providing for their family. He doesn't have as much money as other people, but he's responsible and has much more values, and he understands himself as a man, what he needs to do for his family to feel safe. And I guess that's it. So for me, I disagree, but with how we see the society, it's something like, yeah. But also at the same time, like, when I'm talking, it's something that I'm reflecting on. I'm like, I would say, like, it's all about the values. Are you following your purpose?
Thank you. I would love to look at that from another lens, from another dynamics. And I want to just disagree with that statement. And the reason I want to disagree with it is not because it's not there in the society. It is there.
It is there.
Yeah. But I agree with you that it shouldn't be that way. But anyway, it is that way.
Yeah.
And that's the reason it is
Yeah.
in the society. In fact, that's the reason even that question is coming up.
Yeah, true.
But the lenses I want to look at it from is I want to disagree with it because it boils down to also men being able to understand themselves and also make the right choices for themselves. And this is part of the Men's Mental Health Month. You know, these are topics, relationship, for instance, when you speak about relationship, girlfriend or wife or partner, and then your children, before the children even come in, you are first in that relationship, okay, before you have a child. And it should be something very intentional for every man, that you choose who to be your partner. And this choice, because it's intentional, you're able to also look at your relationship, set your goals and your boundaries, right? And in that line of choosing, you're able to see for yourself the partner you are in. Are they with me because of money? Because in as much as it is good to work hard, we also don't want to throw away the dynamics that most people are entering into relationships because of finances, because of money, not just entering, actually even staying in relationships, even that are toxic because of finances, because of money. It amounts to financial abuse. So it is important that even men we need to begin to be intentional with who we choose as partners, who we choose as girlfriends, who we choose as wives. I can't just go make a choice because I want to get a wife or a girlfriend. I'm not considering their lifestyle. I'm not considering how financially literate they are, how they use money, or even their views of money and my own views of money as a man. If I'm able to meet up the kind of lifestyle that they want to live, because a lot of the time it's not like men can't even provide; they can, but it is this a certain lifestyle that women want that they can't even provide for themselves, that they throw the burden on the man to provide for them. So that will now set the tone for whether or not they will find real love or relationship. And then hence that I'm saying that a man is only loved maybe totally when they're able to provide or have money. But it shouldn't be so, and that's one of the reasons I'm disagreeing with that, because it shouldn't actually be so. Is it like that? Yes, it is like that. But it is also an invitation for us men to look at ourselves. If we are not, if we are able to say no and set our boundaries right and be intentional about the relationships, even those requests when they come, we'll be able to deal with it better. Yeah, that's one of the ways, the dynamics I want to look at it from.
So for the men, as you've heard, look at the lady that you choose.
let me put it this way: look at yourself.
Look at yourself.
Yes, look at yourself.
Yeah.
Your own boundary.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you create that boundary.
Yes. Financial boundaries, and it's an important boundary because if there is a porous financial boundary, it will only, you remember what you said, they treat you the way you also treat yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
They treat you how you treat yourself.
How you treat yourself. If they come around you and then they see you have good financial boundaries, then they will have to rethink.
Yeah, they'll have to rethink. Yeah,
they themselves have to rethink.
Yeah, true.
So, muscle doesn't make the man, but the discipline from the gym shapes him.
Muscle don't make the man, but the discipline from the gym shape them. Yeah, it's the discipline from the gym. It's true. Like, obviously, you having muscle doesn't make you a man. But what defines you is or even in the gym, like, it's the discipline and the consistency. Are you willing to show up every day? Are you willing to eat the food, the same type of food each and every day? Like, are you willing to overcome the boredom every day? Because without that discipline, you can't achieve that muscular look that you want. So it's the discipline that defined the muscle, Lama. Yeah, the man, exactly. The discipline is the one that defines the man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, not the muscle.
Yeah, and I agree with you. That is one field that since I'm not a bodybuilder, I'm a mind builder. I would also want to agree with that statement, seeing it from a psychological point of view. Discipline is important for all men.
It's key.
Yeah. It is important to learn. Allow me to use this word, to repudiate. It's a key word that simply means holding back, following not just how you feel, but bringing yourself to also think. When you see things out there, you also need to be disciplined. When you deal with other women out there, you also need to be disciplined. When you see, you spoke about the body, nice things, beautiful, sugary things out there that will destroy your bodily system, you also need to be
you have to be disciplined in every aspect.
Yes, in every aspect, as much as possible. Especially alcohol, smoking. And the reason I'm saying I'm bringing this aspect of discipline in, and I really love that question. It's also the root cause for most addictions, which also men we find ourselves in. You can mention them: substance use disorders, from the beers, the liquors, to the smoking. It is also because the discipline has come down. We also get into the places and spaces where we're not able to make good relationship decisions because of the same lack of discipline. Yeah, and that is one way I want to just look at it, because let me not look at it from the bodybuilding.
Yeah, it's true. And also, like how we started, and we were talking before we started, like even you having that discipline, you have to understand, like, you're totally human. Even when you fall down, it doesn't mean that you are so indisciplined.
Yes,
we are prone to falling down.
Yes.
So what will define you is how you wake up from that and continue with the discipline.
Yes.
So even though we are saying here discipline, even for me, like, it's something I never mentioned. Like, yes, I have that discipline, but at some point also I get those temptations when I have to come out of my diet. Like, I see a cake in front of me, I'm like, oh. And at some point, even I won't lie, I fall down into it, but I won't remain on that thing.
So picking up yourself,
pity on myself for that.
Yes.
I have to understand.
Yes.
I have to come out from it and not dig myself deeper into it and come back to the discipline. So also at the same time, we have to understand, like, we have to be, we say all empathetic or sympathetic.
Let's say empathy. Let's say
you have to don't be also too hard on yourself. Yes, I have to be disciplined. And then when you're not disciplined, you'll be like, you feel like I'm a failure. No. Like, you're coming back even makes you even much better, and you're going back to that discipline. Like, even though you fall down, it doesn't mean like you're indisciplined.
Yes. In fact, I even love the way you've put it. It's not just about the falling. I think we should normalize picking up ourselves from our fall.
Exactly.
As also discipline.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, because we cannot lie that there are moments when we don't fall.
100%.
Yeah, there are moments we fall. There are moments we do things that we look back and think we would have done differently.
Exactly.
And when those moments come, we summon the courage of discipline to pick up ourselves.
And also the discipline also comes in when also you reflect. You're like, oh, yes, I've done this, but next time, at least I've learned from it.
Yes.
And I can do better.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Interesting.
A healthy man is better for society. A wounded one can destroy it.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Like a healthy man is better for society, but a wounded man is, it's easy to destroy it. Because even we say like, one thing, even I was talking to my friend, he was saying like one mistake you can do is come out from a relationship that you had and just jump into another relationship because already you are wounded. Those wounds, when you go to the other relationship, you'll just go with the same wounds and you'll destroy everything. But the minute the thing that comes in is you understand you're wounded. How do I make myself healthy? That's where the real question comes in. And that even makes you much of a man compared to you. You know, at some point, us as men, we have big egos to a point whereby we think like, yeah, she hurt me. Let me just go and hurt everyone else. Like, literally, that's how at some point we are programmed. For us, like, even when I think for us men, we tend to have a big ego compared even to the ladies.
Yes.
We tend, and at some point, when we hurt, we tend to hurt others. We tend to hurt others. So even the way you're saying, like, we tend even to destroy the society because of how we hurt. But that's not the key thing. The key thing is when you understand that you're hurt, you have to come back and reflect on yourself and understand why was I hurt in this situation? What did I do wrong to a point where I got hurt? So that when I go outside, I don't hurt other people and try to make the situation even much better and suitable and even learn from my mistakes. So for me, I will say like, yes, I'll agree, like healthy men, like make a better society, and women man literally destroy their society because all these men who end up doing, it's because they don't understand themselves. And they haven't worked on themselves to understand like what's wrong with them. And they end up putting the wrong in them and they end up hurting other people. Yeah.
I agree with you. In fact, there's that saying that hurt people. Yeah. And it is not just only for men, even if we are focusing on men. It cuts
across, yeah.
Yes, it cuts across all gender. But yes, healed men will better build the society. And it's also a statement that I agree with, and I have seen a lot. Even in my space of practice. Most of the men who take the difficult part of walking the journey with themselves, they find themselves in better positions and spaces to deal with other kind of, allow me to say, baggages that they may find themselves with. Staying with that example that you actually shared with, just like someone who left a relationship and is jumping into another one and not taking time to, or maybe mourn that loss of that relationship, or maybe taking time to look at themselves to see what they could have contributed to making that relationship what it was, or maybe even totally blaming the other person. You know, most people don't actually take that pain of going through the healing process. So the more we are not healed, the more our society also suffer. Because we are only a product of how much healing we have when it comes to dealing with our society. When you see somebody being a gentleman, when you see somebody putting the efforts to be healed, then when they deal with people there in the society, I think it also shows. Yeah, it shows it shows in the way they speak to their spouses. It shows in the way they speak to their colleagues at work. It shows in the way they speak to their neighbors. It is something that is holistic. Yeah. But if people are not healed, if men are not healed, then in those spaces where they find themselves, they also bring that unhealed self into that space. And it will not be so nice for our society.
It will destroy the society.
Yes.
So you don't have to leave to be an absent father?
Wow, interesting.
You don't have to live to be.
You don't have to live to be an absent father.
Yeah, it's true. You can be there and you're totally absent. So you don't have to live. I agree with that. Because you find like, yes, the fathers are there, but like for you, just providing. You don't know like what your kids do for school. You don't know what sports your kids like. Because for me, like, and also at some point for you, but like how we have been raised, it's not really completely different whereby as long as the father has provided for him, he's present. As long as you're having food, you're going to school, he's good. But I feel like in this day and age, on how, even for me, even how I've been raised, and also how I see, even like I keep on saying, one of my clients, I really like how he's retired, but he's retired at maybe 45, but also he's well off. But how he's so close with his kids, it's really amazing. It's really inspiring me. Now that is how being a father is. Like, you have to know what's happening in your kid's life. Like for that client of mine, he really, and I keep on telling him, it really inspires me. He's the one who picks the kids from school. He makes sure as like each and every game, he's there. Even like when the kid, I train his kids. Like the kid is like, Dad, come and see my set. How I'm pushing. He's like, how? Let me come. So at some point, that's how what being present is. And also the best thing that inspires about him, me about him, he was an alcoholic.
Wow. Okay.
And he shifted his life to that point.
Well done. I don't know him, but I affirm him.
Yeah. So for me, I feel like it's not about the money. Yes, you can take your kids in the best school. You can do everything for your kids. But as long as, because you know one thing, kids won't love you because of your money. They will love you because of how you are there for them. Even like appreciate you and knowing them, like they'll be appreciate you and remember you. For, even let's say when we are big, you remember how your father showed up for you. That's the memories that you'll have. So if you provided paid school fees, they won't have any other memory apart from you saying you paid school fees. I figured you. So you have to be there. You have to be present. And it's really, really important. And it will change your kid's life. And also when the kids become older, you'll have even a much more closer relationship with your kids because they're able to come and tell you what's happening in their life. And at least from that, you can control things. You can manage to advise and control things.
Yeah.
And not be shocked. Oh,
you get married.
You get shocked like, oh, my kid has been drinking for 3 years.
By the way, yeah.
Hey, you get shocked. You're like, oh, where were you those 3 years? So, yeah, you can be an absent father. You don't have to live an absent father.
Yes, you don't have to live. And I totally agree too with you, and I also agree with that statement. I think the little things matter.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, when you come back from work, yeah. I can imagine you are tired. I can imagine you've dealt a lot with your boss, with your clients. You haven't dealt with Nairobi traffic.
Yeah.
But at least, can you say hi to your son? Can you say hi to your daughter? Can you just ask them, have they also experienced the same traffic like you? Because they are also coming from school, so they are also in that traffic.
Just know they are there.
Yes, just know they are there. How was that traffic for you? You know? And a lot of the times they might even begin to also say those stories that may not make sense to you, especially when you're thinking about the rent, you're thinking about your mortgage, you're thinking about your car, and they are here bringing small things but those small things are the things that matter. Those are the things that actually make you present. How somebody spoke to them today in school, how their teacher affirmed them, how if maybe someone even bullied them in school. Those are the very little things that shape them, and that is actually what makes you present. So just something very important on that topic. Our phones, for instance, like how often are you on your phone when even your child is talking to you? Like you're on your WhatsApp, you're on your Facebook scrolling, and here this child is telling you how, hey, if you see their classmates and what happened in school, and so you this and this, and you are just scrolling because you think those little things are not important. They are important, because at the end of the day, it is the relationship. Allow me to just add, in my experience, and we see this a lot in Skize when we see clients, when we see children, a lot of the issues that even children face, even when they take to drugs, when they take to alcohol early, when they escape from school, it's actually because they have little or no relationship with their parents. Every time I see a child in therapy, I see the parents as well. And the first question I always ask them is, how is your relationship like with your child? Because it is the backbone, it is the foundation. No child is born deviant. So you can be present, you can be coming from work, you can be in the same house, but you don't know what's happening to them. And to make it worse, some parents, once they see you from the gate that you're coming, they run, they start arranging the TV, they start arranging the tables. If that is the relationship that is existing with you and your children, there is a question mark there, and enough of these stories of, but that was how we were also raised. Because that's okay. Yes, then you need help. If that is how you were raised, and that's also how you are raising your own children, that is one of the reasons you should actually seek help. Yeah, because that is not bringing up a very conducive relationship space for you and your children. So it is true that you don't have to leave to be absent. Yes.
A man's pain goes unnoticed until it becomes fatal.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's really true.
I am almost asking, goes unnoticed by who?
Yeah.
By everyone. But it's also true, just to say that, but if nobody recognizes it, I hope me, I hope we recognize our own pain.
Yeah.
Because people may not also understand the struggles that we go through as men if we don't also communicate them.
Yeah.
Like I can't just look at you and on your forehead is written all the struggles you are going through or the pain you are going through. Yes, it might show in your body language, but at the same time, it is also important to first, at least for me, if I can recognize it for myself. If others don't recognize it and my locus of control is more within myself, them not recognizing it will not cause as much damage as it will if I don't recognize it for myself. Because people out there, the expectation, the expectation that they have of men is to meet maybe a certain standard, is to do things in a particular way, and the rest. But it is also important that men also communicate their own pain so that it's not unnoticed by even they themselves. It's okay to say, I have gone through a lot to do this. Please, it's just that is the most I can do for now, And once you're able to say that, even others will have to respect it. So it's different, especially for people out there, for those that we love, for those that are significant to us. When they don't recognize this pain, it's actually sometimes because we have not articulated it It is us to articulate it and make it known. And if they still choose not to see it, we can't force them to see it. But as far as we are okay with it for ourselves, that is one way I want to look at that. What do you think?
The question you've said is
A man's pain goes unnoticed until it becomes fatal.
unnoticed. So for me, what I will tell also men out there, like at some point we think like we are the only ones who go through this type of shit, man. Like we think like 100%. Even I was talking to my friend.
Yes.
He was after he was in a, let's say, toxic relationship. The girlfriend left with a kid. My friend was like, oh shit. Like he went to the gym. He felt like he was alone. He was alone. And then he started talking to people. He realized, oh shit, it's not only me who goes through this type of pain. Because when don't allow it to become fatal the way you said, know it faster yourself. And also understand all of us go through some type of pain. And if you feel like you can't deal it by yourself, talk to someone. Talk to someone. Like, talk to the person who's closest to you. If you feel you can't talk to him, look for like a therapist, person who doesn't know you, and try and talk to them. And the funny thing about it, the minute you remove it from your heart and understand the pain, now you'll manage to know how to deal with it. And you'll understand it's not only you that is facing that issue. And I guess that's the important thing. I'll say, like, don't allow it to be fatal. Understand the fact that all of us have an issue. All of us, each and every day, have an issue. And the funny thing, one thing I've come to realize with all these issues that we have, when we learn from it, they become our superpower. And one thing, we will be grateful about it. Because even right now, something I've learned about, when I know like there is an issue I'm going through, I tend to be grateful about that issue because I learn from it. I learn on how I can become better and not face the same thing again. So, but also with where I've reached, also I've talked to people. I've understand that I'm not the only one who has the problem. A lot of people are facing the problem. As long as you talk to the right person, anything, you can manage to come out of the situation that you're in, and it doesn't make you fatal. And also, if it reaches that point, no, there's always a comeback, and you can come back and become a person. Even you are like, oh, I had to go through that so as for me to become this man who I am right now. So don't think that that's the end. Yeah, I think that's what I would say.
Make it a habit to check up on your strong male friends.
Yeah, I like for that one, it's really, really important. Even that one is like really, really important. Even one thing, like right now, I'm really grateful for the community I've managed to create. Like maybe you don't know, but like for us in the fitness world, I was the one who initiated. Like for me, one thing there's something that I have really good in me. Like when we talk with you, I can feel your energy. I can feel the type of person you are. So like in the fitness community, what we did, some few friends of mine, like even I was the one who created, I met even one of the guy, I met him once, but I knew this guy is a great guy and I would want him to be in my community. So we are like five guys who we meet. We haven't met because of my competition and also all those things. We meet once a month. Even Gasha is part of it. We meet. These are people who are authentic. And like for these people, we have to check on each other, see how each other feels, because we go through a lot and make people and make each other understand like what you're going through. I've gone through it. And this is how I've dealt with it, and you can deal with it. and look at those people. Like, it's really good. Even when we're saying we call each other, look at the community of people who is around you. See their values. Are you sharing the same values? Are they authentic people? Because you can end up calling someone and they give you the wrong advice. And that's normal. Like, check up on, create a community whereby you can build each other, whereby you can grow each other. So, and when you have that community, check up on them. Like, it's very important. Even for them, they check up on me. Even it's very amazing how that community has grown. Even the day before competition, all of them made a video call for me, like checking up on me. How am I doing? How are you feeling mentally? Are you ready for this? And people think also for you, it has to start by you. It has to start by you. Don't expect someone to call you and you're not calling other people and checking up on them. So I will say, like, it's very important to check on those people. And you don't know how it's very impactful. The minute you come and check up on me, or also I check up on you, you'll eventually do the same to me. And we will share things that even we didn't expect that will change our lives. And that's what's happening. And like, for you guys there, like, it's very important. Look at the people who you share the same values, check up on them so that you feel as a community, so that even when you check up on them, they're the same guys who will check up on you. And when you're in deep, they're the people who will come and help you. So for me, I'll say, like, yeah, it's very important to check up on each other as men. It's something that ladies have been doing it for the longest. And that's why you say, like, even though there's some ladies who have gone through a lot of, still they have that support system because they have their friends. But for us, I've come to learn, like, it's very important right now as men. We do the same. And don't live like a lone ranger. Yeah. You can't reach. Yeah.
That's a very important topic. Yeah. One of the things I want to just begin by my contribution there would be, first, check up on yourself. Yeah. When was the last time you spent time in reflection about how even your life is going? When was the last time you treated yourself and you gave yourself a treat? When was the last time you spoke to your counselor, to your therapist? When was the last time you did a medical checkup even on yourself? So it's you to also begin make that habit. We men, we that are men, we men. We have to make that habit of first checking up on ourselves. Yeah, and I also want to take this to another level. Check up on that friend of yours, on that man that seems to be the life of the party. Please check up on him. Check up on that man that is isolated, that you've not heard from for the longest time. Check up on him. Okay? Yeah. Check up on that man that you saw that he was going through some relationship issues. Please check up on him.
100%.
Yeah. Check up on that man that was going through some financial situations that you may not even be coming to give them the money. That's okay. But at least check up on him. Yeah, check up on that particular man whose area where he lives there was mandamano. Yeah, please check up on him. Check up on that man whose son was abducted. Check up on him. Check up on that man whose child or whose children are in school and you are wondering, he has 5 children in school, the economy is how it is he paying the school fee? Please just check up on him. Check up on that friend, that man of there in your society whose spouse just left, who is undergoing divorce or separation, please check up on him. Check up on that man as well who has lost the parents, or who has lost a child, or has lost a partner, or has gone through some significant loss. It could also be a loss of status, loss of money. It could be loss of anything. But please check up on him. These are people that these are men that it's important that we check up on, because they could be going through a lot, and the Lord could also be going through them.
Yeah.
And your support could also be a form of solidarity. Yeah. As we speak about this men's mental health month, yes, we check up on ourselves, but when people check up on you, you feel supported. You feel like you're not alone. That's also how they feel when you also check up on them. So I think it is us to take it up from here. And be a brother's keeper.
Yeah, true. Even you made me reflect. You're like, the way you said, I'm like, yeah, I should check up on some other people. Like, yeah, it's true. And also, like, you will find, like, at that moment when you're checking on them, like, maybe you're saving their lives.
Yes.
And it's really true. And at the same time, like, the way he said, like, check up on them, but also at the same time, as men, we have to try and create a community. Very important, whereby we can check up on each other. Very important. Like, we have to create that community in ourselves. So when you manage to create that community, even in your lowest, your friends will come and check up on you. Like, and as much as your friends are checking up on you, also for you, you'll end up creating something of checking up on others. Even though they're not in your community, you're like, oh shit, I haven't talked to this guy. Yeah, there's a lot of issues. Let me just give him a call. Even though it's not even once a year, like, yeah, I still remember you. And how are you doing? So, yeah, we have to create that thing when checking up on others. And thank you for that. It's very important to reflect. Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen. That was it.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much for having us.